Hi everyone, in this video we'll be looking at finding the length of a line given 2 points on that line. So to find the length of a line, as the name suggests, determines the length of the line or how long the line is, right? It is not a popular rule, however, it is a rule that you must know obviously because it can come at any point in time and according to the geometry question. So the rule is the square root of, now if you realize it's a big square root, right? A big square root sign. So a big square root sign, square root of y1 take away y2 squared plus x1 take away x2 squared. Now if you're looking at it and thinking, oh gosh, this is looking real hard, I can't remember this. Think back at, okay, to find the gradient of our line on 2 points, you have to know that formula, right? Which is y1 take away y2 all over x1 take away x2, right? Now actually, it's to find the length of a line, it's basically this rule with the gradient broken up into 2 parts. So the square root of the top part squared plus the bottom part squared, right? If you want to think about that, that's an easy way to remember, right? So now we're going to look at an example here. Determine the length of line AB. So we just use the same points, A and B points that we used in the previous videos. So A is 4, 2 and B is 6, 8. So just like finding the gradient of a line or finding the midpoint of a line, the 2 points you're given, always label them. Label them x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to do the same thing here, right? So for point A, 4, 2, we have x1, y1, and for point B, we have x2, y2. So now just substitute it into here. So the square root of, so y1, which is 2, 2 minus y2, which is 8, that in brackets squared, plus x1, which is 4, take away x2, which is 6, squared. And then just simplify from here on, right? So the square root of, so minus 2 minus 8 is minus 6 squared plus 4 minus 2 squared, right? Now, again, we're just going to simplify. So, I'm just going to do this. I can do it to the side here. So, minus 6 squared. You could use a calculator, but just you will see is minus 6 times minus 6, which is positive 36. Remember that, or we just write 36, right? So, that's 36 plus minus 2 squared. So, our answer is 36 plus 4 is 40. And we put units because we weren't given any measurements, right? So the length of the line AB is the square root of 40 units, right? Now we're going to do this exercise finding the length of the following lines given the 2 points on the lines. And for each time we're going to write the formula. So for number 1, we have P is 4, 5, so let's label x1, y1 one time. Q is 9, 10, so that's x2, y2. So the length, right? So the formula is square root of y1 take away y2 in brackets squared plus x1 take away x2 in brackets squared, right? And now we're just going to substitute our values. So put back a big square root sign. So y1 is 5, 5 take away y2, which is 10, squared, plus x1, which is 4, take away x2, which is 9. So we have 4 minus 9, all squared, right? And now we just simplify. So the square root of 5 minus 10 is minus 5 squared, plus 4 minus 9 is also minus 5 squared, right? So simplifying, so minus 5 squared as minus 5 times minus 5, which is positive 25. And then you're going to get the same thing here again, right? So you're going to get square root of 50 and just put the units, right? So square root of 50 units. All right, and now we're looking at number 2. Again, x1, y1, x2, y2. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned at the beginning, but pause the video and could try the rest of the questions. And then press play when you're ready to check, right? All right, so let's just create some space here. Right, so the length, again, as I said, I'm writing over the formula again. So in brackets, y1 take away y2 squared plus x1 take away x2 all squared, right? And I could probably come right across here one time. All right, so my y1 is 1 take away y2, which is 6 all squared, plus x1, which is 8 take away 9 all squared. So we're going to get the square root of 1 minus 6 is minus 5 squared, plus 8 minus 9 is minus 1 squared. So minus 5 squared is minus 5 by minus 5 is 25. Minus 1 squared is 1 by 1, negative 1 by negative 1, which is 1, right? So this is 26 units. Again, you could use a calculator, as I said, right? Right, so far so good. And then we just have 2 more questions we're going to look at here. All right, so for number 3, x1, y1, x2, y2. So the length. So by the time you write this formula over and over so many times, you're going to remember it. So y1 take away y2, square root of y1 take away y2 squared, plus x1 take away x2 all squared. And we're just going to put in our values now. y1 is negative 3 take away y2, which is 5 squared, plus x1 is negative 1 take away x2, which is minus 2 squared. So we have some negative numbers here, right? So let's be careful with it. Minus 3 minus 5 is minus 8 squared. Plus, now here, remember a minus and a minus is a plus, right? So minus 1 plus 2 is really 1, right? So that's 1 squared. So we're going to get negative 8 squared, which would be negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. Plus 1 squared is 1. So we get the square root of 65 annual units, right? And then last but not least, label the points here, x1, y1, x2, y2. Again, we write in our formula. Come on, by now you must know it by heart, right? You want maths, doing questions, as I said over and over, doing them over, it really sticks with you. Alright, so let's substitute. y1 is 0. y1 is not 0. y1 is negative 6. Good. And our y2 is 0. So negative 6 minus 0 squared plus x1, which is minus 5, take away x2, which is 8. And we could simplify right here. Minus 6 minus 0, that is minus 6 squared, plus minus 5 minus 8, that is minus 13 squared. And just a simple 169, yes. And yes, and now we just have to add the 36 plus 69, 169, sorry, and we're going to get square root of 205 units, right? So that is it. To find the length of a line is nothing hard. To find the length of a line, to find the midpoint of a line, to find the gradient of a line given 2 points. As I have been saying, just label the 2 points. First point, x1, y1. Second point, x2, y2. And you just substitute into the relevant formula. In this case, it was finding the length of the line, right? So again, just keep on practicing and you will get it, right?